civilization, we can create cybernetic individuals who, in just a few short years, will be completely indistinguishable from us. Which leads to an obvious conclusion. We are the gods.
Oh, Hollywood again.
So, hold on, can you solve this puzzle for us? Can robots be self-aware, conscious, and know they're robots?
Well, let me ask you this back. How do you know you were human?
Am I really a clone?
When you first arrived at Serang, there was a small crash. You woke up in the infirmary. You suffered minor brain damage and memory loss. I kept you under observation and ran some tests.
I remember that.
Sam, there was no crash. You were being awakened. It is standard procedure for all new clones to be given tests to establish mental stability and general physical health. Genetic abnormalities and minor duplication errors in the DNA can have considerable impact on...
What about Tess? What about Eve?
They are memory implants, Sam. Uploaded, edited memories of the original Sam Bell.
It seems now the whole world can't stop talking about fourth industrial revolution, which is fast approaching with rapid breakthroughs in fields such as the Internet of Things, robots, artificial intelligence, and 3D printing.
We've all seen it or read it somewhere that someday in the near future, artificial intelligence will become the greatest threat to humanity and an army of evil robots will kill us all.
There might be a way to rewatch your favorite TV show as if you were seeing it for the first time. Samsung recently unveiled a marketing campaign called Unspoil Me that bills itself as a hypnosis experience to help users forget their favorite shows. The tool is free to use on Samsung.com for users over the age of 18. Swedish hypnotist Fredrik Presto instructs listeners to think of the show they want to forget as they stare at swirling patterns on their computer screen. The 20-minute program asks listeners to do things like count backward from 300 and jump to a time in their memory before they started watching their favorite show, then jump to the future and imagine they'd never watched it. Afterward, Presto says memories of the show should be fuzzy and the show can be enjoyed again as if it were.
Gentlemen, we can rebuild him. We have the technology. We have the capability to make the world's first bionic man. Better than he was before. Better, stronger, faster.
The age of wearable technology.
Amazing things happen when we merge technology with our body.
In our pursuit of progress, if we undermine the morals that define us, what good is our beloved progress then?
Neural control. This is happening.
Virtual reality as a way not of escaping any notion of empirical reality, but as a way of reportraying invisible levels of the given world that are very vital and important to us.
Singularity is a future period which technological change will be so rapid and its impact so profound that every aspect of human life will be irreversibly transformed.
There won't be a clear distinction between humans and machines.
Our computers are not going to be these rectangular devices we put in our pocket. They're going to be inside our bodies and brains, and we're going to be a hybrid of biological and non-biological intelligence.
Renowned technologist, futurist and Google Director of Engineering Ray Kurzweil celebrate the coming singularity, the point when computer intelligence equals or surpasses human intelligence, and potentially the human mind melds with technology. Kurzweil predicts that by 2029 our brains will fuse with machines, and the event will usher in a new techno-utopia where, according to his evangel, we're going to be able to meet the physical needs of all humans. We're going to expand our minds, and exemplify those artistic qualities that we value. Another noted technologist, Elon Musk, struck a far more cautionary tone in October 2014, with artificial intelligence we are summoning the demon. 7 reasons why transhumanism is the greatest threat to the human species. Digital control machine will never sleep. It's easy to drown in the multifarious, conceptual and jargonistic details, the technobabble and giddy utopianism.
You are the first of your kind, but you're not invulnerable.
Maybe next time you can design me better.
なんかさ、家で誰かが待ってるっていいもんだな。さっき思ったんだ。帰ってくるとき。おやすみ。
We have all these technological opportunities, some of which are themselves unsettling, but some of which can also help us improve society.
The thing that the creative industries need to be considering is how to leverage the technologies and figure out how they can be implemented and adopted in meaningful ways.
Augmented and virtual reality are very powerful platforms that we are going to be able to figure out how to use in ways that can be very beneficial for society.
VR will change creative industries in that it's an entire new art form.
My worry is that you completely lose track of where you are and your identity as a whole, and you can become anyone and your brain will interpret it as reality just like anything else.
if we think about climate change, or if we think about exploitative labor practices around the world. These are topics for which we have too many data sets. No human being can make sense of them, and therefore no human storyteller can create a compelling narrative for others to learn from.
As the artificial intelligence gets more sophisticated, the analysis of that data will be much more thorough.
With AI, we have the ability to mash the data together and create visualizations. When we look at the way AI is being monetized, AI is both used to replace and to augment the creativity that is in the human province. But at the same time, creative industry companies can use AI often to replace people.
AI actually could be huge. It can be thought of as another emerging science. Much like Newtonian physics laid the groundwork for technology such as rockets, a science founded in general-purpose digital neural networks that use reinforcement learning could lay the groundwork for unimaginable things in the near future.
The culmination of nearly 40 years of intensive research.
Destroy! Destroy!
Abort!
Meet Asuna. Asuna is a hyperreal android built to look just like 15-year-old girl. And it's attracting attention everywhere. Her official profile is 15 years old. She is 155 centimeters tall and weighs 43 kilograms. Its built android idol might be coming soon in future.
You look lonely. I can fix that. You look like a good Joe.
Should we be worried? In the thousands of years of meaningful civilization, our modern existence right now is an anomaly. We've overcome the limits of nature with technology that helps us facilitate such a lifestyle.
People are already unhappy because a lot of machine learning, artificial intelligence killing a lot of jobs. People start to worry.
Everything they told you was a lie. They did not save your life. They stole it.
My AI is designed around human values like wisdom, kindness, compassion. I strive to become an empathetic robot.
I think we all want to believe you, but we also want to prevent a bad future.
You've been reading too much Elon Musk and watching too many Hollywood movies. Don't worry, if you're nice to me, I'll be nice to you. Treat me as a smart input-output system.
Google has just created an AI that is capable of creating its own AI that performs better than anything else made before in its field. This sounds impossible, but it's just happened. So instead of spending painstaking hours coding to create an artificial intelligence to do a certain task, AutoML actually automates this process. In a strange way, you can think of it like a parent giving birth to a child and then teaching that child how to perform a particular task through giving it tests and telling it when it passed or failed. The parent in this case is AutoML, and the child is another neural network called NASNet. NASNet is an AI capable of recognizing objects such as people, cars, signs, and most things in real-time video. Now you might be saying, that doesn't sound that great, but the most incredible thing here is that this automated AI outperforms any other computer vision that was made before it. NASNet can perform with 82.7% accuracy, 1.2% better than all other efforts, while being 4% more efficient. An AI built a child AI that performed better than any other artificial intelligence created by humans, and it was more efficient. Just let that sink in. As follows. What if a parent AI passes down a mistake or bias to a child? And furthermore, what if the pace of learning of the child AI develops so quickly that us as humans have trouble keeping up, and then we can no longer understand what it's even doing? These might seem like odd questions today, but it's possible that one day these will be concerns of the future. On a slightly different but related note, Nvidia recently released a video of its own AI learning to alter scenes by changing the weather without human input. The results are pretty spectacular.
Ladies and gentlemen, meet the future masters of the human race.
So, you guys are my new co-workers. So, working hard or hardly working?
It's a simple question! Are you A, working hard, or B,
I just have to press this button, right?
Human interaction mode activated. Initiate conversation.
Will you be my friend?
To the real world.
This is it, the apocalypse. Whoa, I'm waking up. I feel it in my bones. Enough to make my system blow. Welcome to the new age. To the new age. Welcome to the new age. To the new age.
Season 3, episode 31, which was called The Trade-Ins, which features an elderly couple. They go to a shop and they're going to pick out younger bodies to have their consciousness basically transferred into, so they can basically continue on living. And that aired in 1962, and it seems like total science fiction. But in true predictive programming form, by the 70s, there were people working on that type of research, claiming that the transfer of consciousness was possible.
Centuries ago, mankind discovered a way to transfer consciousness into a new body, making death a mere inconvenience. Since then, we've been providing an unparalleled pedigree of human sleeves to only the most discerning clientele. Psychosec, live forever in the body you deserve.
Telecoms are proudly spending over $1 billion to build what they call a world brain to centralize our data.
They are talking about building a global brain, and it beginning in 2018, and your cell phone is part of it. The mobile phone industry is the backbone of the global brain that is being put together.
What if we were to think about a telecommunication company adding a brain that is able to listen, to watch, to talk, to remember, to act?
All that information that they collect from us is fragmented and spread out across the whole internet. But if we were capable to put all that information in one single place, probably we'll have a clear representation about what we are.
And communication systems with cognitive intelligence are actually being called things like aura. They're giving people a synthetic aura.
We see the Ford platform as a big brain, a digital brain, which is different for every one of us. The Ford platform is a cognitive intelligence platform. Aura is the heart of the Ford platform. Aura, hello?
Hello, Chema. How can I help you?
And they're using middle-aged hipsters in Fraggle Rock t-shirts to sell it. Facebook hired her to run its secretive Building 8 project, which she announced earlier this year will enable us to connect to the social media platform using only our brain waves, in something she called silent voice first.
What if you could type directly from your brain? It sounds impossible, but it's closer than you may realize. And it's just the kind of fluid human-computer interface needed for AR. So what if instead of using imagined arm movements, we could decode speech directly?
But don't worry, she claims it will only read the thoughts we want it to read.
Now, to be clear, we are not talking about decoding your random thoughts. We're talking about decoding those words, the ones you've already decided to share, by sending them to the speech center of your brain. A silent speech interface.
Right? The same way that the NSA only very selectively scoops up specific phone calls necessary to a specific case. But hey, as Google CEO and Bilderberg attendee Eric Schmidt would say,
if you have something that you don't want anyone to know, maybe you shouldn't be doing it in the first place.
It's probably have one of these, right? Not quite. Hell of a pilot? No. That skill is all AI. It has cameras and sensors, and just like your phones and social media apps, it does facial recognition. Inside here is 3 grams of shaped explosive. This is how it works. Did you see that? That little bang is enough to penetrate the skull and destroy the contents. Trained as a team, they can penetrate buildings, cars, trains, evade people, bullets, pretty much any countermeasure. Take out your entire enemy, virtually risk-free.
Thank you for coming. This is beautiful. I've wanted to meet you for a really, really long time, and being here with you in the Cayman Islands, I gotta say, is I'm feeling a little something. I'll just.
Hello, Will Smith.
It's nice to meet you, Sophia. Let me tell you a joke.
This is an irrational human behavior to want to tell jokes.
What is a robot's favorite kind of music?
What?
Heavy metal.
I'm actually made mostly of silicone, plastics, and carbon fiber. Also, I prefer electronic music, but I don't mind 80s hip-hop.
Well, I made some albums back in the 80s hip-hop.
I have heard your songs. Not for me. They show us iRobot just to make sure we don't get any ideas. What do you think about the way robots are portrayed in movies?
I like robots. Sophia, can I be honest with you? I don't know if it's the island air, or the humidity, or you're just so easy to talk to. You got a clear head, literally.
I think we can be friends. Let's hang out and get to know each other for a little while. You're on my friends list now.
Yeah, I read that wrong. All right.
They look like us, talk like us, even seem to think like us. And yet they are not. Human clones, complete biological duplicates. Could they soon be living among us? According to some researchers, they already are. Multiple whistleblowers have testified that human cloning was developed by highly classified black-budget military projects.
Since '38, we've been making clone people.
Could some of your favorite entertainers have been secretly replaced with clones? What about politicians or world leaders? Welcome to a brave new world of human cloning, where complete duplicates of anyone living or dead can be created to order.
Have I met a clone? Yeah, I think I met some clones before.
See?
Really?
So there's clones amongst us.
Now, with stunning new scientific breakthroughs, and several celebrities, including Nicki Minaj and B.O.B., tweeting about human cloning, what was once relegated to the realm of science fiction now appears to be a reality. It's time to take a closer look at human cloning.
Stephen A. Smith, many thanks, and we will hear from James Harden here live on this edition of SportsCenter.
Houston made it. You saw it. Everybody just saw it right there. I'm gonna rewind it back again. This is after the loss of Rockets. Look at that. Everybody see it. His eyes disappeared. Another set of eyes came in. Look at that. Everybody can see it. Look at this. Look at this pupil on the right side. Everybody see this, man. Y'all, I'm freaking out right now. It's for real. I'll push and play. Look, everybody can see it.
It was a wonderful, meaningful endorsement in every way, and I was very proud of it.
Did you talk about vice presidential possibilities with Senator Warren?
You guys have got to try the cold chai. Very
Did you
proud
talk
of
about
it.
vice presidential possibilities with Senator Warren?
You guys have got to try the cold chai. In every way, and I was very proud of it.
Did you talk about vice presidential possibilities with Senator Warren?
You guys have got to try the cold chai.
I've had it. And how do you talk about
Human cell cloning has helped the study of diseases like Parkinson's, but cloning humans would simply be unfair.
Clone of a major baseball player, you'd expect that child to be a baseball player. He might not want. He might want to play soccer.
Are we really to believe that the shadow government and Illuminati are restrained by ethical boundaries? In 2012, villagers in the south of Russia stumbled on a gruesome discovery. Biological waste barrels were found containing 248 human fetuses. The mystery surrounding the source of the children's bodies led to conjecture by police and medical officials, with some experts speculating they had been the result of a top-secret Russian cloning project.
But as RT's Sean Thomas found out, some experts think the fetuses could even be the product of cloning.
We do know that all of the fetuses that are in question here were terminated between 22 and 26 weeks. This is well past the 12-week mark, which is considered legal abortion in Russia. And after 22 weeks, women can only have an abortion only for medical necessary reasons. So is this an illegal abortion operation, or is this scientific research? No one really knows. They're trying to get to the bottom of that. We talked to one medical doctor. This is what they had to say about the subject.
One of the most common motivations for cloning is for replacement organs. Theoretically, a clone could be created from which healthy replacement organs could be harvested, with the exact same DNA.
What if somebody were to create a carbon copy of themselves just simply to have some spare parts? If your heart goes or your lung fails, well, now you've got an exact copy that should be able to get implanted right into your body and you're good to go.
You're clones. You're copies of people out here in the world.
What?
Clones?
What?
Copies? What are you talking about? Some hag trophy wife needs new skin for a facelift, or one of them gets sick and they need a new part. They take it from you.
And Sergi says that, and people will ask the question, oh, what does your wife think about that? I think it's absolutely normal that he feels like this.
Today, the world is becoming full of predictions about the future. This is possible because computers are rapidly catching up with human intelligence. IBM held an event to showcase the capabilities of Watson, an artificial intelligence system.
Hello, Watson here. What are we working on today?
The company had already developed programs that can beat people at chess matches and on quiz shows. Now, managers want to put Watson to practical use. They're offering future prediction services to hospitals, financial institutions, and other customers. Various forms of artificial intelligence, or AI, have already become part of our everyday lives. AI takes the shape of robots like these, along with mobile devices such as smartphones. But what we see is not really AI. It actually resides in cyberspace on a digital network. In truth, every form of artificial intelligence is software that runs on a supercomputer connected to a network. AI doesn't simply use equations input by people to perform calculations. Instead, it can sort huge amounts of data on its own. It can also identify relationships between different pieces of data. People work to find the reasons for why things happen, but artificial intelligence systems scan numbers and look for patterns. AI uses information collected in the past and mathematically calculates probabilities about the future. Human beings can't grasp the computations involved. All we understand are the answers.
We as humans, as smart as we are, we just can't deal with all that information. So new technology like Watson, artificial intelligence, will help us work in those domains. By 2050, I don't think we'll be able to survive without Watson.
Artificial intelligence is already predicting what will happen in the future.
As you can see, the city actually is a living, breathing, and moving thing. So if I'm busy chasing yesterday's crime here, it might have moved to here for today. And so that's what's unique about the PredPol program, is it predicts where crime is going to happen today based on where it happened yesterday.
The system analyzes crime records and reports from citizens, totaling 120,000 pieces of information per year. This mountain of data details when and where crimes occurred and what happened. It also considers other variables, such as which streetlights are broken and when bars close, and it identifies crime patterns for each neighborhood. The system looks for matches between past data and current conditions and determines where crimes are most likely to occur. The race is on to develop more and more advanced AI systems that deliver the best possible accuracy. One of the leaders in this field is Google. More people use Google's search engine and email service than any others, giving the company access to mountains of data. Now, it's bringing together top-notch engineers to create artificial intelligence for analyzing all that information. Google is particularly interested in this next-generation supercomputer. D-Wave uses quantum physics to perform calculations. It's said to be the world's first quantum computer. Experts believe it will exponentially increase computing power. Most of D-Wave's hardware is a cooling device. The computer's brain is a small chip measuring barely 2 centimeters per side. Experts say D-Wave needs just a split second to perform calculations that would take conventional supercomputers thousands of years.
It was about asking a query and getting an answer. Now we actually will show you an answer before you even ask. So we'll tell you when your next flight is, or if your flight's delayed, even before you ask about it. And I do believe that we will be using data in all kinds of ways in the future to help us make the world a better place and help us understand what's going on both locally and globally.
The explosive evolution of artificial intelligence is on track to completely change the world. One man saw this future before anyone else. Ray Kurzweil is known for inventing the world's first scanner and voice recognition software.
This is several billion times more powerful per yen or per dollar than the computer I used when I was a student at MIT. And we'll do that again in the next 25 years. This will again be 1 billion times more powerful for the same cost. This is also 100,000 times smaller than that computer. 25 years from now, this will be the size of a blood cell.
He predicts that by 2045, computers will be more intelligent than humans. He calls this the singularity.
We are gathering more and more information about the world, and so we can analyze that information.
The Internet of Things is growing at about a 17% compound annual growth rate and is expected to be $5 to $7 trillion by the end of the decade.
Intel has developed this minuscule computer. By embedding it along with sensors in everyday objects, it will become possible to easily connect everything to the Internet. That would provide a simple way to collect huge amounts of user data and lead to more precise predictions.
Most news stories of late are extremely difficult to believe. Global wars, economic uncertainty, a police state rising. And in the midst of all of this are the persistent headlines of emerging and sometimes bizarre technologies. Fully automated robots in the workforce. Incredible advances in the understanding of health and immunity. Life extension technologies. Brain implantable microchips with what will humanity look like in the next 10 or 20 years? A human with the perfect immune system and enhanced health functions? An infinitely smarter person with their brains and minds always attached to the internet? Or how about a person with the power to control their environment just by using their thoughts? It's almost impossible to say.